The NBA has entered exploratory conversations with Walt Disney Company over possibly restarting its season in late July at Walt Disney World. The NBA, in conjunction with the National Basketball Players Association, is engaged in exploratory conversations with the Walt Disney Company about restarting the 2019-2020 NBA season in late July at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Florida as a single site for an NBA campus for games, practices and housing, said NBA spokesperson Mike Bass. The NBA is still deciding as to what form the league will return, and sent out a survey to all 30 GMs on Friday. The NBA has a Board of Governors call set for next Friday to provide additional details, timelines, and plans on how it will proceed with the season. Mark Barlstein, Bradley Beal's agent, said that his client would remain with the Washington Wizards amid trade rumors. The Nets reportedly held talks over acquiring Beal. "There are no Beal sweepstakes and that's why he resigned with the Wizards," said Mark Barlstein. "Brad resigned with the Wizards because he wanted to stay in Washington and the Wizards wanted to keep him there. Beal signed a 2-year, $72 million extension in October that will keep him with the Wizards through the 2023 season. The Brooklyn Nets will reopen their practice facility for voluntary workouts on Tuesday, May 26. The organization will strictly follow the protocols outlined by the NBA and infectious disease experts to ensure that all precautions are taken, released the team in a statement. The news comes on the heels of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo opening the state back up for sports. "I believe that sports that can come back without having people in the stadium, without having people in the arena, do it. Do it. Work out the economics, if you can. We want you up. We want people to be able to watch sports. To the extent people are still staying home, it gives people something to do. It's a return to normalcy. So we are working and encouraging all sports teams to start their training camps as soon as possible," said Cuomo. Lamelo Ball is currently the top-rated point guard on the New York Knicks draft board, sources told Mark Berman of the New York Post. Knicks executives believe that Ball has one of the higher upsides in the draft. Leon Rose briefly worked with the Ball's older brothers when they were signed to Creative Artists Agency. Nikola Mirotic stated that he turned down a 3-year guaranteed contract with the Utah Jazz last summer because he was no longer happy in the NBA. Mirotic ended up signing with Barcelona. "I wanted to spend free agency while on vacation in Greece with my family. Utah wanted to have a meeting on June 30 to sign me as the first player in free agency. They offered me 3 years guaranteed, a great contract. I spoke to my wife and she told me to take what made me happy. I took a ticket for 2 days, a round trip, and I left. I was waiting at the gate of the Thessaloniki airport when I started to think, what do I do at the airport? Why am I not with my family? The NBA. I said to myself, don't do it, Nico. If you go, you will sign. I left the airport and went back to the hotel. I told my agent that I wasn't going to catch the flight and to apologize to Utah for not attending the meeting. I'm going to take another path, I don't want to continue in the NBA, said Mirotic. Mirotic added that he returned to Europe to rediscover his joy for the game. My role was always the same, in the NBA. I was a player who was open to take the shots, who made a pick and pop. Among the big guys, I was expected to score 10 points, take a couple of rebounds and that's it. I felt that time was passing and I had not played the best basketball of my life, although it was very good. As soon as I didn't feel that joy and happiness to improve, I said it was time to go back and do something bigger in Europe. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the class of 2020 could be further delayed from its August date due to the current COVID-19 pandemic. The ceremony for the class of 2020 is currently scheduled for August 29, though the Hall of Fame committee has 2 other potential dates. I do want to make it very clear we will have a separate event for the class of 2020 because of the notoriety of that class and, frankly, every class deserves its own recognition. There is a potential next calendar year that we could have 2 enshrinements, said Hall of Fame CEO John DeLeva. The class of 2020 includes Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, and Tamika Catchings. It has not been determined who will speak on behalf of Kobe Bryant, though DeLeva said that Bryant's family wants to be involved in the ceremony. I had the opportunity to speak very briefly with Mrs. Bryant and she was very appreciative and very emotional. She has certainly indicated to be very involved, she and her family and others, in his enshrinement ceremony when it happens, added DeLeva. Mike Budenholzer was reportedly close to taking over as the head coach of the New York Knicks in the summer of 2018, sources told SNY. People who would have moved to New York along with Budenholzer were said to be looking for places in the city as they felt he would take the job. The New York Post reported earlier that summer that Budenholzer was the Knicks' top choice heading into the offseason. Bud was definitely interested, another team official said of the Knicks' open position that summer. The Knicks would go on to hire David Fizdale.